You not hear their cries, for we neither hear nor understand. But the man who hears and understands we call crazy and flee from him. This a call to my ancestors. Rid the land of damn settlers. Turn our signs to hand gestures. Whether we feeling the man's pressure. Sun storm each clan better. Planting the devil to stand the weather. It's a must we band together. Put that on Abraham and Esther. From Castilians to conquistadors. Iberians and traitorous Moors. Didn't arrive as friends to us, whether as slavers, invaders, or disguised traders. Missionaries, Islamic Christians with dictionaries. No mutual goal to coexist. Those warships in our tributaries. Military tactics to test shores. Foreigners have no respect for treaties and oath. I expect more from those who want to conquest except war. They didn't bring women during the invasions. The minds were on rape, miscegenations, the spread of mis and disinformation, which manufactured the miseducation of the soul. Carter G. Bush, Robert Taylor Holmes, Marcy and Brooklyn, projects and hoods when we were pushed in Cali to Florida. Hardly cushion. It's like the terrorists, never ending shipment of American Indians from Belize to the Caribbean. Gives I shot this sheriff meaning. Shut my field can be read, no book. Flows in my veins were prepared with no hook. Behind the back pass with flair, no look. This beef is rare, get fed, no cook. We're peaceful people, they call us animals. Truth of the matter, they were cannibals. Practice unclean religious rites. Evidence tangible, check the annals. I bring heat, this beast flammable. Feel free to critique this canicle. If your brain's deeply manacled, release or get treated devil. You speak Hannibal, I talk black hole. Fighting the line, now the chief's back with bulk. That's big muscle drip up to tussle with Uncle Sound, Big Brother, and his clique. I put that on Abraham and Esther. It's a must, we band together. Blend in the devil to stand the weather. Sun strong, each clan better. Whether we feeling the man's pressure. Turn our signs to hand gestures. Rid the land of damn settlers. This a call to my ancestors.
Oh, forgot. Glass of wine and a blunt.
Based on real life. It's nothing like the old school. High vibrations is what it feels like. It's nothing like the old school. This goes way back. Before I was deep out in them streets, gang.
Yeah,
presented out on crazy mess. This is what really makes me me, y'all, at its core. So check it out. I arrived in 1970, August 14th, to be precise. Eldest son, firstborn of 5, alive as the Christ. Had sunny days, just like I had spooky nights, which accounts for my old lows and my newly heights. Childhood, not of the norm. Excellence, how I perform. Deep down, I was mad, that's why now I braved the storm. Memorize Psalms and other passages of scriptures after learning the Quran to fend off the jin's whispers. It was like my mother and father tried to hide us for the Pontius Pilates, King Herods, and other outsiders. No celebrating holidays, kept away from ungodly ways of playing games, calling names the cost of what folly pays. I'm saying you wouldn't believe such discipline, wishing to make friends with the neighborhood children. But it was like wish again from early on. Was taught I was different, not better, just gifted. There's a big difference. Had telescopes, microscopes, chemistry sets, book smells, paints, carpentry tools, wrote poems not yet known as raps. Learned alphabets and mathematics from my mama. Learned meditation and martial arts from my father. Watch my uncles create music, show I beat drums, play keyboards with my dad, the guitar he strum, didn't consume pork nor beef. I would eat plums, not knowing this was part of who I would become. True stories. This is based on real life. It's before all the jail field nights. The genius within me, the angel of light. High vibrations, it's what it feels like. True stories. This is based on real life. This before all the jail field nights. The genius within me, the angel of life. High vibrations, now around. It feels like 1982 was no longer separated from the outside world off the porch. Yeah, I made it. First notice to standing in my b-boy stance. Looked at the chance and began to break dance on wooden floors. I got sore from the workout. It was me, Chili T, my man Shabazz Muhammad, and Phil G. When I met her on 93rd, next Jeffrey Manor, master of all crews, was written on my banner. The manner of my approach. Yo, I rocked her. World with backspins, atomic flares, and helicopters, hella proper. Guys that were awesome, tried to get fresh Up at Basma and on commercial. Attempted to test a bus moves on linoleum. Loved her on cardboard. Roughed it off on concrete with combinations I had stored. Poured my heart into her around the time I met Dula, Yusef, Rashi, Stony Island Park, CVS, School, the battleground, found passion. Another element turned my heart into graffiti, evidence of being present. Taggers united together, network of writers who most times put all-nighters. True riders, 1987, we were kings of the line. Won the epic war with sad on the dead ride. My guys, Dickie, Tron, advance, plain sound, and vanish. I do this for you and the true TUC claim it's the bandits. True story, based on real life. This before all the jail feel nice. The genius within me, the angel of light. High vibrations, that's what it feels like. True story, based on real life. This before all the jail feel nice. The genius within me, the angel of life. High vibrations, is what it feels like. Latest up. I am the great matriarchs, give to America, rare, uncut, sun complected, yet deemed wretched of the earth. Though my old blood's majestic, something shut the most rejected. Nevertheless, check the record of my birth. Never read a book for knowledge of myself. The silence I felt, not from wildness of wealth, but from rawness of my breath. I received meditatively. My mother and father educated me. I often think creatively. I've walked through a few schools of thought that truth is art. It has no cause, yet the cause of everything. Falsehood is law, yet the manifest of right. What's in darkness comes to light. These words Timothy didn't write, that didn't quite sit well with a gang of y'all. When it comes to fiction, hell, truth is stranger, y'all. I came to y'all to bring the fall of a government that's been de facto as the enemy of so-called black folks. I make sure being realistic and admit it. How's it we've allowed this shit from golden fire now? Y'all complicit in spirit with the metaphysics also makes me America's curse. I'm not in competition with men or women. I'm defending my household from those who are pretending, garbed and skinned the same as us, taking up the same name as us, who attempt to claim the same rank as us. Y'all be satisfied with societies like Westworld. Bernard's really Arnold. Dolores is your best girl. Universal soldier. Our robot is now the task force. The fastest passport is on its own crash course. With or without y'all, I'ma own my road and bring fire upon them. Fast on my soul. Y'all waiting for the Galactic Federation to come save y'all. Another United Nations site out to further enslave y'all.
This primordial realm of Tiamat, she has some younger children in a nutshell. One by Marduk, which is known as Marduk in one mythology, which is known as Amun-Ra in another mythology, which is known as Yahweh in another mythology, which is known as Zeus in another mythology. She had these younger gods and went to war with her and one of her consorts called Kingu, which was one of her earlier sons and her consorts. She went to war with them, and they went to war with Tiamat, and these primordial gods, this primordial god was defeated by her son, Marduk.
Keep it a country, boy.
Zeus, Amun-Ra, or Yahweh, or any of the male deities. So that male deity destroyed the mother principle.
I'm in my own zone, within my own home. I'm in my own throne, my own skin, no clone. On long going in for the wind, ozone, 10 toes strong, closed doors are opening, siphoning my own tone, microphoning my own song, on my own right and my own wrong. My own masters, have my own master, and that to my own loan. I'm in my own zone, within my own home. I'm in my own throne, my own skin, no clone. I'm in my own zone, from the hip to the thigh bone, from the lip to the microphone. I'm like a disciple stone, yet much larger than this fleshly vessel more. Like like an architectural lecture with his trestle board. Polished and tougher, I embraced the struggle. Broke free from the dome, I escaped the bubble. They say trust your signs for somebody's line. Trying my patience, I'm aligned with Mother Nature, frying these agents of this dying matrix. I'm in my own zone, within my own home. I'm in my own throne, my own skin, no clone. Since 1970, there was born Robert Taylor's 92nd Access, Buckingham to one. First Sister Claire Bahamas School, then fellowship Christian Academy. Just before I went public, still stuck with self adamantly. Spark from the infinite. See the sun, I'm equivalent. The eminent instrument of the eminent village militant. Break it down in increments. Rid the land of immigrant, misogynist and feminist. Restore the innocent. Half rich of Indians. Round pegs and square holes. Kindred spirits and rare souls. Discard the scarecrows. Better yet, the straw man. Pebbleboard rhetoric of the law man. It was us Europeans saw and ever since squatted on our land. Slaughtered our clans. Chartered our sands, auctioned us through birth certificates, social security, bartered our branches, census, or the doll's rolls, religious books, or lost scrolls. Everywhere we turn, crossroads, to relearn or more, it's most mode. I'm not talking Morse code. Purge the family tree, they infected the bloodlines of the autochthonous Niji, brought with them disease, their pale-faced Slavic made tags, Gregorian calendar holidays, turned the rainbow to a gay flag. They made treaties with tribes they recognized federally, ineffably. They were in cahoots with the Iroquois Confederacy. It's my destiny, along with the ancient ones, to return for everything they owe. I don't mean government-sanctioned funds. I got other artistic notions of mine that's high flown, because the land's fly blown. Look for me in a cyclone. Great spirit, quicken my bones. I'm a true and living soul, son of the great matriarch. My heart glistening gold. Everyone wants to walk in the sun with her, but she'll run to the one who'll dance in the rain for her until it's done. I'm in my own zone, within my own home. I'm in my own throne, my own skin, no clone. On long going in for the wind, ozone, 10 toes strong, closed doors are opening, siphoning, my own tone, microphoning, my own song, on my own right and my own wrong. My own masters, I'm my own master, in debt to my own loan. I'm in my own zone, within my own home. I'm in my own throne, my own skin, no clone. I'm in my own zone, within my own home. Because the land's fly blown, look for me in a cyclone. Microphone, my own song, my own skin, no clone. And that'll still be once them foreigners are long gone.
What's good? What's good? What's happening? What's happening? I keep Jameson and tequila. You never know who might want to pop up. Anyway, right? No, let me stop. So I was, I'm not really a little late. I don't believe in that. I was checking out our sister, and Baby Girl Slaughter. And she was sharing some of her books on YouTube. I mean, on Facebook. I just love watching her share the books and everything. It's just a marvelous thing when you see people very informative. She shared that she has Jamil Shamsi's book. She's going to order the second one. She shared a plethora of information. She is like me. She is really a reader. I love the way she breaks things down. Y'all know me, I have all kind of information. Yet I believe she got the one book, American Old World, by Louis Agassiz. An exceptional book. Y'all know I just purchased the next one, the original one. The one I had was a reprint. I think it was the third. So there were some things, because you know, like they like to mess with stuff. So I ordered the newest one. Okay. I got this book on the fluoride deception. Some of you know I keep the PDFs because you can't have everything. And now the one, if you want to purchase it, I'll show you what it looks like in my PDFs. Let me turn it up right, because sideways is where I read it. This is the book. This is one of my PDFs, okay? This is the fluoride. This is the old one. And I've been reading this because you have fake fact checkers. You have World Health Organizations, the liars, the USDA, FDA. That's the reason why I told you about the what's called about the chemicals that are in the food by the USDA and FDA. It's illegal. Everything they have done, and why has the rest of the world gotten rid of all these poisons and toxins, but yet we're still holding on to it? Even some countries, the CIA and the witch card are not even allowed to fly over. If they see chemicals, they will shoot it down. This is the reason why they don't want you to have the weapons that the military does, because the military has a bunch of incompetent individuals in there. Because if they were competent people, they would have changed and they would have took over and done what needed to be done, and they could. So, the fluoride deception, it's real. Okay? It was practiced in Germany. So, who's behind it? Who you think? Go and pull up the names. Okay? Facts are facts. You know, I have the book, but I always had the PDF long before. This is 2007. Facts are facts. 2007, I've had it. I think the second time I was in college. And I advise you to go and pull it up. And then you know what, we have Benjamin H. Friedman, the reason the deception by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. His wife was a mulatto. She did not like none of what was going on, and yet his security was us. Why was it us? Look at the time frame. See, y'all think the Reconstruction period ended around 1950 something, right? 43 to 50. No, they say 18 something. No, it never ended. Even the schools they so-called fictionally made y'all believe that they built the West Wing. If you go back to the 60s and the 50s, you see them digging out the lower parts of the building that is ancient, that you call the White House, which is the Franklin House. That place they called with Washington State, fictional Washington. Washington was a Negro. Everything they did is change the world into lies. And he was a Khan of the Tartary, which lasted. Y'all have no clue how long. Tartary is a slang. That period lasted. How long we had peace. And there was love and everything. There was no need to go and sleep with somebody else in another tribe. Okay? I just wanted to share that. So she shared, she's got some marvelous information. As y'all can see, The Day of Deceit. Pick up the book. Some of you don't know about this book, right? Let's go ahead and pull it up. It's one of my PDFs. Let's pull up Day of Deceit. Okay? So that way. Oh, not the Ottoman and Crimean War, because you see who's there, right? Oh, you thought it was going to be... No, those are Gujars. The new identity of the so-called Chinese and the people that would take the position of the people you see now, those are the people that took over the lands. Because as I told you, China didn't exist until the fictional 1600s, 1700s. We know it was later, in the 1900s, the Boxer Rebellion. It was Cathay. I know a lot of y'all are going to have a hard time with that. And the majority of Chinese do not hate us. Day of Deceit. Go ahead, and it's loading. It's a PDF. You know, even though it's saved, it's just the way it is. All right, dude. Go and get the book. FDR. Okay, read it. It'll be a long time before I get to reading that book. Some other ones. John Tiller. God D. There's a ton. Common Sense. There's a book that is, as far as for sociology and everything, dumbing us down. The hidden curriculum of compulsory schooling. John Tiller Gatto. What was I expressing to you yesterday about another book? About the dumbing down of society. Go and get the book. This book is like old. If you don't want to donate to help me get the rest of the books, go and purchase it yourself. You got it like that. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into reading. We're going to start with Exposing the Expositions. I know it's only been a few days, so you're not lost in time. And by the way, I'm chewing ginger and drinking coconut water with ginger in it. Sure. I was getting ready to pour a big old glass of wine, but I feel stressed around here, and I know what it's from, but I don't want to accept it. Like I said, you're powerful and you need to know this. So let's get into Exposing the Expositions, 1851-1915 revised. This is the revised 2020 edition from his 2019, when he had layover time, because you know why, right? By Howdy Mikowski. The Court of Honor in Chicago. They can't even get that right. They had to call it Chicago. But nothing authentic about these people. You know what I'm saying? I got bear grease in my hair, y'all. I got authentic bear grease in my hair, y'all. No perm, bear grease. You want to know who you are? Go get you some bear grease. Rub your head with some olive oil, boiled, like if you're going to cook, right? Boil it in olive oil with rosemary. And you add a little thyme in there too. In a mason jar, in a bottle, with the lid, but you don't want the water dripping in, so you want to put a little cookie paper over it. It's infused with rosemary and thyme. Rub that in your hair. Change your hair color too. I'm always going to drop some tea. Let's get into the read now. I'm just going to pick it up. So if you don't remember where he's at, go back and watch the video. You'll see both of the covers on it. Okay? Heaven Bearers and Exposing the Expositions. All right? Exposition. So what is the true history of this city then? Now, the city we know, because we were talking about the Colosseum here, rivaled the one in Rome that Bruce Lee fought in. It literally did. And they couldn't even remove it. They had to bury it. It's like a big fake mound. It's big. It was up until the 40s or something like that. The Colosseum was humongous. And as I stated, in the even up into the early 1900s, Tartary was taught. Because the people that are bringing over here still knew about it, the children. And they had to beat it out of them. Then they realized a lot of them died because they weren't going to let go of the old history. Okay? So anyway, we're talking about Chicago. We're talking about the cultural center. And you can pull those pictures up. They lasted for a long time. So what is the true story of this city then? In fact, a question to ask is, what is history itself? Who was writing the history of the United States? Well, the United States has nothing to do with America. And America has nothing to do with this land either. Of course, it becomes no surprise to find that the main person who wrote the entire history of the United States, who wrote the entire history of the United States, was also the same man who wrote the book of the history of the Columbian exhibition, Hugh Bancroft. Did y'all know that? We're not playing. He wants to play so bad. Let me see if I can pull his picture up. I gotta type it down. Not Howard Hughes. Let me make sure I spell it right, because I can do this on my Note 4. On Note 4. Yeah, it's not Hughes. I gotta type it in. It's all still there. Not Junior. Okay? So you remember now, how was he able to do this? Well, Hugh Bancroft was an American publisher and attorney who was the president of the Dow Jones and Company. 1928, y'all. So whenever people come talking to me about, well, American history, the first thing I do is look at them like they're freaking crazy. You're going to give me that fictional made up 9th century, but 1900. Made up time period in history when this is the monkey that wrote it. Oh, wrong one. This is the monkey that wrote your history, and y'all accept it. It looks like a Native American man, Johnny, but it's a Gujar. That's your fictional ass American history. All right, let me continue on. Hugh Bancroft. Of all the pleasant features connected with the fair, one of the most pleasant was the appreciation, we might almost say, the affection with which it was regarded. While the greatest international exposition that the world ever witnessed has passed into history, it has bequeathed a heritage for good which cannot readily be estimated, shedding a flood of light on millions of lives and filling the land with the sunshine of beauty and truth. Hugh Bancroft. We have to look very closely at the man who wrote the book of the fair, both figuratively and literally, because he is just as important as the book. And from the standpoint of the history of the United States, he might be the history of the United States. I did not give you the complete title of his Chicago Exposition book, which is The Book of the Fair. Pull it up. It's actually on my next books to order. We want to know the price, right? I need more donations, you idiots. I'm not talking about the ones who have donated. The lazy ones, the slack jaws, who just want to get greedy and pay their bills. No, help donate. It's a few dollars, all right? Because I got a lot of books that I want to purchase, y'all. Still, I added more, so what? It comes right up by Howard Hugh Bancroft. So it's like one I'm gonna get is $26. They have some cheaper ones. I'm not going through Abe or Thrift Books, so just stop. So the one that I'm going for, is this one right here. Historical and descriptive. It's about 26, 27. Okay. It's already added. It's about 70. Well, now it's 70 books compared to the 50 something that was left there. You know. Anyway, designed to set forth the display made by the Congress of Nations, of human achievement in material form, so as the more effectually to illustrate the progress of mankind in all departments of civilized life. Even that word is new. Y'all aware of that? By Hubert Howe Bancroft. That was the title of the book. Like, just how pretentious can you get? So just who is this guy? He was born in 1832 in Ohio and became the man who wrote the first history of the Western USA, Texas, California, British Columbia, Mexico, and Native Indians. After finishing his schooling, he went to become a clerk in the bookstore of his brother-in-law in Buffalo in March of 1852. Bancroft was provided with an inventory of books to sell and was sent to the booming California city of San Francisco to set up a West Coast regional office of the firm. Bancroft was successful in building his company, entering the world of publishing in the process. In 1852, he was sent to San Francisco to sell books. As we have seen, San Francisco was supposed to have only been founded in 1847, 2 years before the gold rush. The only people there should be cowboys and miners. We were the original cowboys. How many of them could even read? Who was he selling books to? He also became a serious collector of books, maps, and manuscripts, documents, buildings, and building a collection numbering into the tens of thousands of volumes, including a large number of narratives dictated to Bancroft or his assistants by pioneers, settlers, and statesmen. We know who the statesmen were in the 1800s, don't we? Us. And the foreign Gujar, fake, soon to become Zionists. Indexing of the vast collection employed 6 persons for 10 years. The library was moved in 1881 to a fireproof building, and in 1900 numbered about 45,000 volumes. A collection of 60,000 books was later purchased by Berkeley University and placed in its named Bancroft Library. Y'all need to look at the name behind that, because that's not the building, and nor was that the name of it. He left business after the Civil War to devote himself entirely to writing and publishing history. Collector is the key word here. I believe that is what he was doing out west. I think the story of going to California, to sell books is a smokescreen, definitely. He was sent there to collect every document from the area. Document, people. Perhaps from the early cities that had just been located, found, after pushing and defeating and killing off the Caliphs and certain other tribes. I believe that he used the found ancient books, manuscripts, and made, I believe that he used the found ancient books, manuscripts, and maps that had come into his possession to know much of the complete early history of the Americas. But if he wanted to present that real history, he only would have had to update and republish what he had discovered. Just reprint the found books. My guess is that he did not present the real history that he found, but did the same thing the Egyptologists of Egypt do, which is lie. Anything important that is found is locked away in the Cairo Museum and never mentioned or seen again. I propose that Bancroft did the same by turning over key documents to the Smithsonian for safekeeping, which means to be put into a safe so no one can ever see them. He then went to work with a group of 600 collaborators to create the new history of North and South America. Because if it was real history and they wanted to hide it, obviously Native Americans, you Pale-skins, and a whole lot of other folks who came here between 1903, mostly in 1920s and 1940s or 50s, your history is a lie. And our people just don't remember. That is how important this man might be. He could literally may be the creator of all we know of as the history of North and South America. He was the one who wrote close to 10,000 pages on the history of the native peoples and was the source for decades that all anthropologists use for their studies. This is why his book of the Chicago Fair is so important, for he may not just be presenting what turns out to be a very valuable catalog of all the buildings and exhibits, but perhaps the culmination of the very historical ideas he himself originally created. And you need to know who funded him and supported him. Must we go back to Mr. Rockefeller, Fairchilds, the Vanderbilts, the Rothschilds, the Bushes? JP Morgan and Chase? Oh, there's more than 13. Y'all need to know that. I just love how everybody's pulling up extra information and they're starting to share it. I love that. That is the most wonderful thing to me. The most important. And there's some people who have written books. I'm going to share information y'all don't have either. But the information is everywhere. I'm parched, y'all. Let's get into Heaven Bearers. Oh, I gotta get in my position. Heaven Bearers, The Great Reset of 1834 and the Mud Flood by Janine Helen. Oh, I know y'all was waiting on this. Like, yo, Red, I never did take a break like for 3 or 4 days reading this book. I read it every day. And I know a lot of you didn't go back and watch my videos. Thanks for the friggin' support. And some of you, because I look, you're not even watching the ads. What is wrong with my brothers and sisters? What is so wrong with y'all? Like, what's so hard to go back and just let it play through? Like, is it complicated? Are you that conflicted? I support everybody. Everyone. I ask for the tribe. The tribe to support this venture. And that's why sometimes I just feel like I don't feel like doing anything. Everybody wants this, that, and the other. Fuck a want. How about a need? I don't want y'all to donate because I gotta reach out to you to donate for books that I'm paying the other half for. I figure if 12 of y'all come together and I'm putting out $200 or $300 over here and y'all can come. And that's what I do. And people know it. But even the people at the post office like, how are you buying all these books? Well, I have this thing, but I save up. I don't get them the way I want. So sometimes I come in here and I order my own books. And there's an ex-librarian that works at the post office, and he's always giving me books. I don't share those books on here. They just get piled up over in the other room. Whenever I find the time, I'll read them. You know, Pelskins have an obscure way of looking at us at certain things. But some of those books, like the original Moby Dick, phenomenal. When you want to talk about the Pequot, that's what I hit the Navajos with. I said, who are the Pequot and the Mi'kmaq? Who are the Narragansett? Who are the original? What? And they look like this. Who are the Seminole? That all of a sudden, now in 1960, all of a sudden, they became some of you mongrels. You weren't there in the 1940s or 50s. How would I know? Because the Seminole belonged to the Yama Nation. Just like the Cree and the Cherokee, and so many other clans. So, here's our baby girl, Janine Helen. Let's get right into it. Now, I'm not even going to start this off at the last point. I'm going to pick it right up. Go back and watch the last video. Bonnie is sitting on the hotel bed. It is soft and comfortable. The sheets are made from silk and cotton, and she can't help but want to lie down on it and close her eyes. Now is not the time. Snap out of it, she mutters and lets her eyes wander around the room. She stares at the fireplace and can't help think, it looks out of place. She walks up towards it and traces her fingers over the edges. Someone has changed the design of this fireplace, and she can see the workmanship isn't of the same quality. There was an organ structure above it. There is a faint trace of it on the wall, and even with a fresh coat of paint, they can't hide this. She sniffs the wall and doesn't know what she was expecting to smell. Pulls back away from it and crinkles her nose. Everything was free. She says out loud as she tries to piece it all together. Free energy. There must have been free energy. In fact, there was no money and everyone had a purpose and followed their passion. Since the heaven bearers took over the planet, there has been no energy, she realizes. We have to use oil lanterns to light up the darkness. We are all so primitive compared to those great. People. She starts to laugh, but it is a spiteful laugh. The almighty heaven bearers don't know how to recreate certain things. They can't even replicate the buildings the Tartarians built. The knowledge was lost due to the re-education programs. Hello. And very few can read the old books. More importantly, even if they could, they wouldn't know what they are reading, or at least pretend they don't. We would have electricity by now if the heaven bearers had gotten their way. Her mind suddenly jumps to King Fen. Her eyes flash a slight gold, and she blinks heavily. She is all of a sudden angry and balls her hands into a fist and gently bangs it on the wall. The bathroom door swings open and she turns towards Henry. My mother was King Fen's sister. Did you know that? No, he replies, but he isn't shocked by what she tells him. He walks over to the window and stares outside again and rubs a hand towel over his wet hair to dry it. There is an old legend. It was around before the mud flood even happened. It was so outrageous, it was disregarded as crazy talk. People generally didn't talk about it at all. Go on, she prompts him. Her face is inquisitive, and he can't help but want to stare at her face for all eternity. The great empire of Tartaria would be invaded by some evil creatures one day. I don't know all the details, but I know that there would be this girl, a Tartarian girl with abilities. He pauses and thinks about a better word. She would have powers, and she would completely destroy the Tartarian Empire. She would completely destroy the Tartarian Empire. Remember that. Destroy the Empire? Her face is filled with shock. Why would she destroy it? She is meant to save it. Save her people, that is. There is no saving it, Bonnie. She looks away from him in shame. She recalls the fact that she is already responsible for killing millions of her own people by creating the mud flood as a baby, a pap, one of the Churins. She might have seen it in a dream, a vision of the past, and she was only a baby, but she knows what she did. She was responsible for what happened. It was me, you know. I caused the mud flood, she says, and the words don't penetrate his ears. What she is saying doesn't make any sense, and it can't be true. There is a sudden knock on the door, and she walks to open it without finishing what she wanted to tell Henry. No, stop! He shouts and starts to approach her in a protective manner. She smiles at him and opens the door before he reaches her. Her heart is filled with joy at the sight of him. She throws her arms around his neck and kisses him passionately. Her lips are full of longing, want, and need. Don't worry, it's not going to be no big white book clock maneuvers here. All right, so don't get it. That was in the beginning of the book. She pulls away to catch her breath and kisses him again, this time slowly, and she touches the tip of her nose against his. Softly. I love doing that, women. Anyway, this closes her eyes to take him all in. He smells like she remembers, and her fingers move slowly throughout his hair and over his neck. His face is expressionless. His face is expressionless, languages, expressionless, excuse me. But she can hear his heart beating, and she knows he feels the same. He isn't used to feeling. He didn't even know what it was, if it was possible. Phoenicians aren't capable of feeling anything, seeing how we are Scythians, right? Scythians. This is what they are taught. She, however, knows differently, and she will show him as she should. Mr. Harrington! Henry calls out, but his voice is unsure and nervous. Bonnie takes Malcolm by the hand and leads him inside the room. Henry didn't expect to see him and stands there in utter shock. He wants to greet him properly, respectfully, but his mind is stuck on pause, and he doesn't know what to say. Mr. Harrington, he mutters again, opens his mouth and then closes it abruptly. Eventually, he finds the right words. Bonnie, he is the enemy. He is Azrael. Azrael is his creator. He swallows hard and looks at her, hoping she understands what he is telling her. He quickly puffs himself up and tries to be the alpha male and protect her. Ha! Henry, this is not the time nor place, she says softly. She doesn't want to hurt him, but she wants him to stop this silly, it's a lot of you Negroes now, posturing. She says nothing more and then asks them both to take a seat. We have company. I'm going to stop right there. Cliffhanger. Cliffhanger. I mean, I love cliffhangers, man. Y'all just got to deal with that. You got something you want to say about it? It's going to get good. In the next, I would say roughly about the next 4 chapters, it's going to be a banger. Where did I put the, oh yes, the Velcro. It's going to be a banger, y'all. So I'm going to shout you guys out. I hope you enjoyed the read. Hold on, let me go back up here. Jamil Samseed, it's good to have you in here, God. What's going on, beloved? Ganja, what's going on, beloved? All these gods up in here. T. Hines, Herbo, what's up, beloveds? Max V, what's going on, beloved? You already know. Big Pontiac, what's up, beloved? What's happening, man? Yo, I'm gonna have you come on the podcast. So I'm gonna introduce you. I'll hit you up, and I want you to inform people as into sports. It's not a problem with watching them, but if you come like me from a family with a lot of NFL, NBA, blah blah blah, myself ex and pro boxers and all that, you learn and you know the truth compared to the lies. And I love the way you break things down, even though you still have this resilience to enjoy, which is practical and fine. So I'll chat with you on that, beloved. Big Pontiac, y'all. You want to talk sports? And ex badge wearer, right? Hey, baby, what's up, Snoo? What's up, my mama? Mikey Cox, what's going on? Salute, beloved. What's happening? Well, I hope y'all enjoyed that read. I really do. I really enjoyed it, and I might see if I can do a collab with Baby Girl Slaughter when she gets done reading Jamil Samseed's book, where we can actually have a conversation to bring the highlights and the most specific points which elude most people in the world of ignorance. So yeah, Jamil, I'm working up here. I'm putting together things to see if we could all walk side by side. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. All right? So I appreciate y'all. I'm about to go make some mushroom pasta because y'all know me with the basil, the pine nuts and everything. I got some new thyme and rosemary I want to put with some fresh parsley to the grip. I appreciate y'all taking the time to listen. And it's nothing but mad love and respect, all right? My sisters and my brothers. Until tomorrow.